Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fadhilah Najmee. I'm from the 7th semester of English Education Department of STKIPMB Bogor. So in this video, I would like to explain about pragmatics of Grecian maxim. So here we go. What is pragmatics? Pragmatics is one of the fields that appeared as a linguistic level which is distinct from other levels. Adams, 1985, states that it is developed in the 20th century. It developed step by step from one linguistic level to another. He reveals that the study of linguistics developed from phonology to syntax, then from syntax to semantics, and finally from semantics to pragmatics. Pragmatics is the utterance that have a meaning which has less truth condition. Gazar 19 and 79. Based on the idea of language users, pragmatics is the study of aspects of language, such as deictic and indexical words, that need reference to the user of the language. Levinson 19 and 83. May 2001 reveals that the study of language is divided into two independent parts. They are a language as human product and a language in its human use. Cooperative principle and Grice's maxims. Cooperative is a term used in the linguistic literature to show the human behavior in a conversation. Davis 2007. Pragmatics cannot work without realizing the figurative or hidden meaning in the conversational exchange. The conversational exchange works when we have the addresser and the addressee. Grice 1989 presents the parts of speech to the word implicature. The verb is implicate, which it means what the speaker tries to say. Implicature, what something or saying implying to. And implicatum, which it means what an utterance is implied. But we need to know the process of the implicature. In general, implicature refers to what is said or expressed, and Yule adds that it is an additional conveyed meaning. Yule 19 and 99. But it has to be based on the truth and non-truth condition of expressions. Conventional implicatures. Conventional implicatures are the non-truth conditional inference, and they are not divided from the maxim of conversation. Levinson, 1980 and 83. In other words, the hearer doesn't need to think about what the speaker says, but he or she understands directly without figuring out the implicature because there is no hidden meaning. Conventional implicatures are not based on the cooperative principle and Grice's maxim. Yule 19 and 96. They don't need specific context to figure out the intended meaning, and they need specific words to get that meaning, such as the English conjunction but and. For example, someone say that he is poor but happy. Conventional implicatures. Non-conventional or conventional implicatures work with the cooperative principle. Grice's maxim. Grice defines the cooperative principle as make your conversational contribution such as is required at the stage at which it occurs by the accepted purpose or direction of the talk exchange in which you are engaged. Grice 19 and 75. So Grice proposes that when we engage in talk exchange, we need to provide the people who we are talking to with enough information to let them get the idea or the message that they try to get it. Conversational implicatures are the properties that convey additional meaning which is behind the semantic meaning of the words. Thomas 1995. The observance of the maxim works based on the assumption called the maxim of conversation. Levinson 1989 explained this maxim in detail as in the following. First, the maxim of quality. Try to make your contribution one that is true. Specifically, don't say what you believe to be false. Don't say that for which you lack adequate evidence. Second, the maxim quantity. Make your contribution as informative as is required for the current purpose of the exchange. Don't make your contribution more informative than is required. Third, the maxim of relevance. Make your contribution relevant. Fourth, the maxim of manner. Be perspicuous and specifically. First, avoid obscurity, avoid ambiguity, be brief, and be orderly. For example, she dusted the shelves and washed the walls. This example is adapted from Cummings 2005. This example shows the observance of the manner maxim, and it generates the standard implication of the maxim in which that she did all her job orderly or be orderly. Another example which can get to all this maxim in one example to show the observation of the maxim and the participants follow this maxim without breaking them, as in the following example, which is adapted from Thomas, 1995. Husband, where are the keys? Wife, they are on the table on the hall. This example states that the wife follows the assumptions that are suggested by Grice's maxims and cooperative principle. Floating the maxims. When people lie, say something sarcastic, or describe something or a person with unusual utterance, it means that they break the cooperative principle and the conversational maxims. There are different kinds of breaking the cooperative principle and the maxim of conversation. They are floating, violating, opting out, infringing, and suspending the maxim of conversation. Floating the maxim means that implicators bluntly and overtly don't follow the maxim and exploit it from communicative purpose. Levinson, 1983. In other words, people fail to achieve the maxim because they have an idea and they try to make the receiver to get the intended meaning behind this idea. Although Grice's maxim can be floated as follows: floating the maxim of quality. This maxim can be floated for different purposes: irony, metaphor, understatement, or meiosis, overstatement, or hyperbole, or rhetorical questions. Second, floating the maxim of quantity. It means that the conversation can be either less or more informative. Moreover, tautologists show that the conversation floats the maxim of the quantity, which it means telling something non-informative. Third, floating the relation maxim. This maxim can be floated to change a subject and the conversation cannot be continued. And the last, floating the manner maxim. The communicators try to exploit the maxim by being not brief, orderly, or etc. So that's enough for my explanation about Grice's maxim. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.